Dear all, good afternoon. Welcome to our seminar Successful Mortgage in Cyprus. Today we will speak about mortgage, about interest rate, down payments, and other indicators. Very interesting, but I will do my best to explain to you in the most simplest way. Welcome, Simraj. We're happy to have you today, and I do believe that we'll spend this hour together effectively. But in order for you to observe this information and to understand everything perfectly, I would like to recommend you, first of all, to leave your mobile phones to your Apple Watches and to be focused, because the thing that I will explain to you today are extremely important and they may change your life. What is also, I believe, very important thing. So let's start, and I would like first of all to introduce myself. My name is Anfisa Chernea. I've been living in Cyprus 15 years. I have a master degree in real estate. Actually, I have 2 degrees, but one of these is a master in real estate, and I did it in the local university in Neapoli. Also, I'm a member of Scientific and Technical Chamber at TEC. I'm a valuer, so I work with banks and with the private clients, and I do valuation of residential property, commercial property, plots, factories, school, different kind of properties in Cyprus. So I know everything about the valuation procedure, which is really important. Maybe that is why today I'm here in front of you. Also, I'm official mortgage broker with the Bank of Cyprus, Eurobank, and today also with Alpha Bank. I'm CEO together with my husband at Aston Homes real estate consulting company, and I'm a speaker at business communities, business club ambassador, and etc. So welcome to our webinar, and today the purpose of what we are doing here is to explain to you in the most simple way how to obtain mortgage in Cyprus. What are the terms for down payment? What are the difference between fixed rate and fluctuated rate? What are the hidden payments in mortgage story? And who are compatible to have, who have rights to obtain for mortgage in Cyprus? Are there any limits about the salary, income? And today, I promise you, when we finish our webinar, you will have the full understanding how to calculate your own mortgage in Cyprus. So you will have the full understanding if you could apply for mortgage in Cyprus, and if yes, on what terms. I'm very happy that today I could share this knowledge with you. Why? Because 15 years ago, when I just came to Cyprus, I landed at Larnaca airport, I went out of the airplane, and I fell in love with Cyprus, totally. I think that many of you had the same feeling. But the first months, I was invited as an employee to one company 15 years ago, and we rented the apartment with my family, and I didn't expect that we have to pay 2 deposits. Nowadays, I understand that 2 deposits is not standard term. Normally, people pay 1 deposit, but we had to pay 2 deposits, 1 month rent. Then we paid to transfer the bills for the electricity, for water, for internet, and we found out that with all these payments, we almost spent all our savings for this month. And I understood that to rent property on Cyprus is not profitable thing. It's better to avoid this. But at the time, I didn't think about mortgage because I thought, I just recently came to Cyprus. Who am I? I didn't work even 1 year. My income salary was very average, and I thought that banks would not accept me. But now I understand that it was easy for me to take my first mortgage that time. But because I had all these thoughts in my head, all these disturbance, I didn't do it. And I took my first mortgage only 5 years after. And I spent more than 70,000 euros to my landlords from whom I rented the property with my family, instead of paying this money to my own property. The reason why the mortgage is so popular now in Cyprus, of course, is the interest rate. It's very low, and based on it, you will see the calculation and the mathematics, how the mortgage really works, and you will see that it's a wonderful financial product, even for those who came to Cyprus recently, maybe 2 months ago. Yeah. Sometimes I hear from my clients that mortgage is an encumbrancy. It's a very big problem because you have to pay to the bank, and you pay a lot of interest to the bank. Instead of this interest, I would be able to buy 2 apartments. Look, this is what we hear, that this is what we have sometimes in our head, but this has nothing to do with the reality, and further you will see how it works. Okay, let's go. Why you are here? First of all, you will understand whether you are qualified for mortgage in Cyprus, to learn the real bank requirements, to choose a property that will definitely be approved by bank, to save money, time and nerves, to make the right decision before signing a contract with a developer or with a property owner, and to get answers to your concerns. So what is mortgage? Let's work a little bit on vocabulary. A mortgage in Cyprus is a long-term bank financing instrument where you purchase a property using bank funds and the property serves as a collateral. A mortgage allows you to buy property without full upfront payment. And for me, as a financial specialist, is a big privilege, because when you buy something without full upfront payment is a really, really good benefit. Another thing, with a mortgage, you lock in the current market price. You know, the prices for property in Cyprus, they are growing every year from 2.5% to 8%, depends on the location and city. And it doesn't matter where you buy your property, you lock the current market price, and in 5 and 10 years, the price could be increased on 200%, on 300%, and the mortgage allows us to buy the property without full upfront payment and lock the current market price. This is a big advantage. Another thing, we use financial leverage of the bank to grow our own capital with a really small bank interest. And of course, we preserve the liquidity and diversity of the risks. This is also very important. This is what should we know about mortgage. So who can get a mortgage in Cyprus? Mortgages in Cyprus are available for both residents and not residents. Not everyone knows about it. It doesn't matter, maybe you had never been to Cyprus, but you would like to have mortgage, and you are able to do this. The only thing, if you are not resident, the down payment will be much higher in comparison with those people who are residents in Cyprus. Because today we do this webinar for Semrush company. Of course, all of you have your employment contracts. So, of course, you will have much better terms for down payment in comparison with those people who are not residents of Cyprus. So, let's speak about you. You work for Semrush, you have your contracts, you pay your social insurance, GC, etc. And it's important how long have you been staying in Cyprus. If you stay less than 2 years, and if you represent, if you have passport from CIS countries, third-party countries, Russia, Ukraine, Belarus, Kazakhstan, Uzbekistan, etc. And if you live in Cyprus less than 2 years, your down payment most probably will be 40% in majority of the banks. If you live in Cyprus and you are from CIS countries, more than 2 years, your down payment most probably will be 30%. And if you live in Cyprus more than 3 years, so 3 years plus, in one bank in Cyprus, is Alpha Bank, you may obtain the property with a 25% down payment, which is very good. From other banks, it will be 30%. So let's say for those who live in Cyprus 3 years and plus, the average down payment in the bank will be from 25% to 30%, which is a good news. If you live here and if you work less than 2 years, the down payment will be about 40%. Why I'm saying about? Because each case in the bank is a unique case. And the bankers, they don't use the same policy for everyone, because it depends if your income is high, if your income is average, if you had a bad history with a mortgage before or a good history. All these things create the unique picture about every single client. So that is why I say about 40%. Yes. Also, the bank number one to work with, if you're a citizen of CIS countries, yes, Russia, Belarus, Ukraine, Kazakhstan, etc., is Alpha Bank. Why? Because now they have better terms for down payments. 25% most probably will be approved if everything is okay with income. And now Alpha Bank, they have the lowest interest rates. And we will speak about this a little bit later. So if you are European citizens, yes, and you are residents of Cyprus, your down payment will be most probably 25 or 20%. For European citizens, they have a privilege, yes. And if you have Cyprus citizenship or you obtained your passport recently, it doesn't matter how long have you been staying here, the down payment will be 20%, which is really good. And another good news, if you have a passport of CIS countries and you spend on the island more than 8 years, so 8 years plus, your down payment most probably will be 20% like Cypriots. So I believe it might be a good news for somebody. General requirements you will see now on the screen. So verified official income. Bank considers only official income that goes directly to your bank account. If your official salary is 2,500 and not officially you will receive some bonuses in cash, Revolut, crypto, this might not be considered from the bank. Yes, sometimes we understand that the person receives a high salary, for example, 10,000 euros, but officially from the company, he receives only 2,500. So bank consider his income as 2,500. It's very important to understand. What exactly do you have in your employment agreement? This is what we have to provide to the bank in order to calculate your repayability. Age from 18 to 65 years old. This is the age where we could apply for mortgage. The down payment, as we discussed, from 20 to 40% depends on the nationality of the client and how long he or she has been staying in Cyprus. Transparent financial history, only income to the bank account and sometimes to the payment system, might be Revolut or some other license payment systems, but these payments must come from employment agreement or service agreement. Yeah, this is important to understand. And also the income from rent of your property in Cyprus, in Europe, in your countries, also might be considered as an income. But if we speak about the property that you rent in Russia, Ukraine, Belarus, in CIS countries, this profit might be also accepted by the bank, but it will be discounted on 30%. For example, if you rent your apartment for 1,000 euros in Belarus, and the bank will accept 700 euros out of 1,000 as additional profit in your financial portfolio. Another thing, bank accredited property. Today we will speak which property might be accepted from the bank. And if we speak about resale, here it's clear. If the property has a title deed, definitely it will be accepted. But if we speak about brand new property, there are some requirements and we will discuss them with you today. About the repayability. It means what is the chance that the person who take mortgage will be able to cover this mortgage. We call it repayability. So the monthly payment amount from your mortgage shouldn't be bigger than 50% of your monthly income. Yeah, so if your monthly income is 6,000 euros, you shouldn't pay for mortgage more than 3,000 euros. Otherwise, we will not pass QIC in terms of repayability. I think it's clear. So we already discussed about non-residents in Cyprus at the 30-40% down payment. And another thing, the length of the mortgage normally in Cyprus for foreigners is 15-20 years. So we could obtain for mortgage for 15-20 years, sometimes more, but the average is 15-20 years. So let's repeat again. Less than 2 years for CIS countries, down payment 40%. From 2 to 8 years, residency 30%, except Bank of Cyprus. If you live 3 years and more, they might consider 25% down payment. And if you live 8 years and more, the down payment will be 20%. And terms from 20 to 25 years. Okay, very good. For EU citizens, 20% down payment, and the loan will be provided for 15-30 years. Again, for third country nations, what is important to remember? Official income should be in euros. The service contract could be only with EU company. If we speak about non-residents, the 40-50 down payment, percent down payment should be provided. Yeah, and the term of the mortgage is 15-20 years, and the bank evaluates income stability, contract duration, tax transparency, and overall reliability and repayability. Property may be rented out and can be partially or fully cover mortgage payments. This is also possible if we speak about mortgage for investment. But I don't recommend you to take a mortgage with the purpose for investment, because if bank understands that this is not for your personal living, this is for investment, the interest rate will be higher. So I recommend, it doesn't matter for what purpose you buy a property, to say that you buy for your own use of a holiday house. Okay, common concern. And sometimes we're afraid to make a step forward to the bank because we have concerns. We are foreigners, yes, great part of us. Now I thank God I obtained Cyprus citizenship, but I remember what I thought, let's say 10-15 years ago. I had some concerns. What are these concerns? What if I have to leave the island? What if I will be fired? Or what if something will be changed with my house, general in life, and I need to leave this island? What I will do with this mortgage? The thing number one that we could do is to resale the property to somebody else. It's not a problem to sell the property if it's under the mortgage. And for many clever buyers, it's even an advantage, because the property under mortgage, it was checked by the bank, by the lawyers of the bank. It's fully transparent and clean, because bank will never finance some dirty deals. It's impossible by the policy of the bank. So it's a good thing. How to close your payments with the bank? Just sell the property, cover your mortgage, and take the difference to yourself. Another thing is to rent the property out. And here I would tell you, according to the law 224, people, owners of the properties in Cyprus from CIS countries, they cannot legally rent the property, according to the law. But from the other side, there is no punishment in case this property will be rented. For European citizens and Cypriots, of course, this rule doesn't work. So European citizens and Cypriots, they could easily rent a property, and the property which is under mortgage. It's not a problem. If we invite here and make a concilium with many lawyers, and we will ask them, so do you believe that people from CIS countries could rent their property or not? I think we will not have the one common answer, because this is a subject that many lawyers have their own understanding how to interpret this law. But my personal opinion, people from CIS countries, if you consider Cyprus as your second home and you would like to obtain your citizenship here, it's better not to rent. And to wait until your passport will be received finally. And the third thing, what to do if you need to leave the island and you have mortgage in Cyprus, and for example you stop paying your monthly payments to the bank. The bank will try to sell this property to the shareholders of the bank, and if nobody wants to take it, the bank will sell your property from the official government, semi-government auctions through the following company: Remu, Go Guardian, Altamira, and Altia. And then there will be 1, 2, or 3 auctions. Your property will be sold. You will pay the penalties to the bank because you didn't do payments according to the agreement the whole period. Yes. So bank will charge you some penalties because of this. Also, bank will charge the expenses to proceed with the auctions, and then the rest of amount will be returned to your bank account. So anyway, it's impossible the situation that you took mortgage, you leave the island, and you have zero. No, the rest of the money will be refundable to you after the penalties and expenses. Yes, so this is the good news. But I recommend everyone to sell the property in order to avoid all these auctions, etc. So here, if we speak about borrower, who is the borrower? Is the person who is taking mortgage in Cyprus, and not only in Cyprus, in general. So what other documents are required? Residence permit and proof of address. Yes, residence permit is your visa, and utility bill for electricity, water, on internet. 3 latest pay slips. I think your employer is sending you your email, so you could provide this to you. If not, you just request from your employer. We need IR63 income statement for 2024 and 2025 already. Employment contract stamped. Translated credit report from country of origin. What does it mean? We need to provide to the bank that we don't have mortgages in the country where we were born. How to obtain this report? In Russia, it's easily to receive this report from Gosuslugi portal, and there we can request this certificate and to receive it the same day. In Ukraine, it's possible to obtain this certificate through DIA platform. Again, it's free of charge, and it's possible to request this easily. In Belarus, it's a credit bureau, and it's possible to request it from there, but I think a small payment needs to be paid in order to obtain this report. So no worries, it's not difficult, and we finally provide the instructions to our clients how to do it. Depends on from where they are originally. Also, 6 months bank statement. If salary is paid elsewhere, we should provide 6 month Revolut statement or some other payment system statement. And completed and signed personal financial declaration. This is something that will be sent to you to be filled from the bank. And here, normally we advise our clients what to write and how to write in order to satisfy the requirements from the bank. So you see, this list is not so big as sometimes we might hear from our friends, mostly rumors that bank requests a lot of documents. It's not a lot. It's a matter of 2-3 days to collect all this information. And also sometimes the bank requests social insurance for the last year. Yeah, it also could be added to this list. Also, of course, we need to provide the documents for the property, so bank may proceed with the evaluation procedure. For the property, we need title deed, architectural plans, planning permit and building permit, property share details, And reservation agreement, it might not be signed, but the draft of the reservation agreement. And for CIS citizens, there is one more very important requirement, and without this requirement, the mortgage will not be signed by the bank. Those clients who are from CIS countries, they need a permission from Council of Ministers to buy property in Cyprus. This is the must. Yes, it is possible to apply absolutely for free from the administration in Limassol, in Paphos, in Larnaca, in Nicosia, but we have to wait for this document approximately for 1.5 months. Yeah, so these are requirements for the documents. This is my favorite part of our webinar because nobody speaks about hidden mortgage costs. And there are some costs, and they are not so small. We have to consider them before we proceed with buying property in Cyprus. So, one-time costs that we pay just one time and we forget. 1% mortgage registration fee. 1% from what? For example, we are buying a property with a budget 200,000 euros, and our contribution will be 50,000 euros, and bank will provide us 150,000. So we must pay 1% on the body of the loan, which is 150,000. So 1% will be 1,500 euros. Also, we have to pay for property valuation around 300 euros. So you understand it's already 1,800. We pay contract assignment in the company registrar, which is 250 euros. So it's about 2,000 already. We have to pay 50 euros for registration of the contract in the land registry. We have to pay 250 euros to the lawyer, so he will explain us officially all the information from the mortgage contract that is written about on 88 pages on Greek language. So we need a lawyer who will explain to us it's according to the law. We cannot avoid this procedure. We have to pay, and the lawyer put a stamp that he or she explained to us all the procedure with the mortgage. And we pay 60 euros for document certification. Also, what is important, we need to pay for the insurance. This is something that we need to pay on annual basis, so every year. Life insurance for one person is around 1,200. If you are a family, you may arrange a mortgage only for one person, for a husband, for example. So you don't need to pay life insurance for both of you, only for one. So it's about 1,200 euros for people up to 48 years old. And property insurance for two-bedroom apartment, it's about 550 euros, but it should be paid only if the project is ready. If it's under construction, the developer pays this insurance until the project will be delivered. Also consider legal services and bank transfer fees if we speak about payments from other countries. The legal services, the standard payment is from 1 to 3% from the amount of the property. But in our company, those clients who are buying property through us and receive their mortgages through us, they receive legal consultancy services at the highest level, and the mortgage broker service absolutely free as a complementary service. But we will speak about it later. So, which property to choose? If we speak about brand new properties, I know that many people, they like brand new properties now because it's new, because it's fresh, because the energy efficiency of this property is much better and higher than in comparison with the property that was done 10 years ago. But in order to buy this kind of property which is under construction, we have to make sure that we have planning permit. Without planning permit, bank will not initiate the evaluation. But in order to satisfy the bank fully, we need also the building permit. So this is important if we speak about brand new property, to find something that has already planning permit and building permit. Without building permit, the developer cannot obtain financing from the bank. We could make all the procedure, but bank will start financing the developer only after the building permit will be issued. The property will not be accredited by the bank without issuing building permit, and the mortgage will not be issued finally without this. What is the optimal strategy for brand new property? To choose property with a building permit, choose bank accredited projects, and avoid uncertain waiting periods. So in our company, we have a database for the specific brand new properties with the building permits that are already accredited from the banks. And we are happy to share this with you. Okay, let's see real case, a real life scenario. The family of three, mother, father, and the daughter, 16 years old. From the picture, I might say she's about 25, but let's say 16. So the income from family is 6,500 net. Yes, this is what they receive in hands. And the property, and actually this is a real case, is 350,000 plus 5% VAT. We will speak today about VAT as well. So total with VAT is 367,500. And the down payment with this family, because they lived more than 2 years, but not 3 years, they are from CIS countries, their down payment in Bank of Cyprus was 30%, which is 110,250 plus VAT. So the loan amount is 250. And here I would like to add something on the top, that banks, they don't cover VAT. So they provide the mortgage only for the market price, but they don't cover VAT. So VAT is on our responsibility. But the good news is that if the valuation goes high, bank will provide you from, let's say, from this specific case, 70% financing, not from the market price that we're going to buy, but from the valuation price. So if the valuation price is higher, using this, we could partly cover our VAT. So it's very important for valuation to be really high. So interest rate in this case was 2.9%, and the monthly payment for this amount, the loan was given for 20 years. The monthly payment for the 2-bedroom apartment was 1,694. And you see with the green color, I emphasize that the comparable rent for this kind of property nowadays is 2,500. So instead of paying rent for 2,500, people pay 1,694 in their own properties, and they don't spend money for nothing. And if that property, that specific property would be for rent, imagine they receive 2,500, they pay to the bank 1,694, and the difference will go to them, about 800 euros, which is a lot. It's a very nice profit. So that is why I believe you understand why the mortgage in Cyprus is such in demand now. And this 2-bedroom apartment, 350,000, it was a real case. It was an apartment with central heating, with underfloor heating, water-based, with a high ceiling, 3-meter height, with a swimming pool, with a sauna, and a gym, with a nice infrastructure. Nowadays, believe me, the new projects, they're so much infrastructure, and it's a pleasure to buy properties in these condominiums, with the swimming pools, with a nice atmosphere, with a lot of greens, plants. It's a pleasure. So, of course, in this case, for family, it was much better to obtain mortgage rather than to pay rent. Okay, let's move further. What you need to know about VAT. This is a little bit complicated things, but I would like to explain to you about this in the most simplest way. So, from 2027, conditions will become less favorable, But until January 2027, we have the following thing. 5% VAT rate will apply to properties up to 130 square meters and with a price no more than 350,000. This is very important to remember. And anything above these limits will be taxed partially or fully at the standard 19%. So the standard VAT rate in Cyprus is 19%. But there is a very important exclusion now, and I would like to explain you this because this is extremely important. Some projects that are under development, they applied to the Town Development Department, EOA, we call it in Greek. They applied to obtain their planning permit before October 2023. And those projects that applied before, they're eligible now to provide 5% discount for the whole amount price of the property. So, for example, if I buy penthouse 750,000 and the developer applied for the planning permit before October 2023, I could reduce my VAT on the whole amount 750 and I pay 750,000 plus 5% VAT only. This is very good. But if I buy again brand new project and the developer applied for planning permit to town department after October 2023, in this case I pay 750,000 plus 19% VAT. This is the difference. Also, you have to know about one more exclusion. If we find a property and the price is no more than 475,000 and the square meters are no more than 190 square meters, for the first 350 we pay 5% VAT, and the difference from 475 to 350 will be paid with 19% VAT. I understand this is mostly for accountants, yes, and tax consultants, but I believe you're very smart people. I have heard a lot of good and positive feedback in general about your company, so I believe we understand something about VAT. So do your sales before January 2027 if you're planning to buy a property more than 475,000 and you will win. Okay, to reduce approval time from 6 months to 2.5 months, I will share my personal secret how to speed up mortgage approval. First, we go to the bank with the mortgage broker. So first, we are not looking for a property. First, we are going to the bank. And we run process in parallel, QYC, property selection, and contract review. So banks start checking us for our repayability, and at the same time, we are starting to searching a property. Because from the first meeting, bank will say to us, then 95%, we will be ready to give you 25% down payment, or 30% down payment, or even 20% down payment. And keeping this in our mind, and because it will be provided from the bank, based on it, we are starting looking at property. Yes. Third thing, we include fund clause in the reservation agreement. The refund clause is very important clause because when we sign the reservation agreement, it's not refundable, it's a standard. But we add 2 more clauses that it's refundable in case it will be official rejection from the bank to provide the mortgage for some reason. And in other case, if the valuation goes low and we don't have money to cover the difference, again, we ask the developer for a full refund. Yes, not all the developers accept this, but this is what we recommend to secure and protect you, first of all. Another thing, we sign main contract only after pre-approval from the bank. In the bank, before the final approval, there is a procedure that we call pre-approval. What does it mean? It means that within 3 weeks, when we start our procedure and when we find the property and when we do the evaluation of the property and we understand if it's high or low or whatever, bank will give us a pre-approval orally, and bank will say everything goes well, we just need to finalize everything with all the committees, but 99% you could sign the main agreement, and only after the pre-approval we sign. We deposit contracts in the land registry, apply for VAT reduction and permissions on time, and submit complete document package. So if we do all these things in parallel, simultaneously, we will finish our mortgage road in 2.5 months. Another thing that I personally recommend you, it's regarding main or sales purchase agreement or main contract with the developer. Be attentive and consider the penalties for the delivery delays. Yes, it should be equals to the monthly rate of the apartment that finally is not delivered to you. For example, if you're buying property and it costs 350,000, as we mentioned before, the rent of this apartment will be 2,500. So we might ask developer, in case he will not deliver on time the property, to pay us a penalty 2,000 on the monthly base. The structural warranty, the structure of the building, the warranty we ask minimum for 10 years. And for interior works warranty, we ask minimum 12 months, which is 1 year. Now let's speak about interest rates. There are 2 types, fixed rate and variable rate. The good thing that for fixed rate we have now 3% average for 3 years, 3.4% average for 5 years, and 3.8% for 10 years. Fixed rate means it doesn't matter, it will be war, it will be catastrophe, tsunami, earthquake, pandemic or something else, this rate will never change. With a period that will be provided for 3 years, for 5 years, or for 10 years. This is a good thing. But when we are on the fixed rate, we cannot cover the loan in advance without the penalties. If we cover the loan in advance, will be penalties. So on the fixed rate, we cannot just close our mortgage and be happy. We should pay monthly, but the good thing that the rate will not be changed. With a variable rate or fluctuated rate, it's a bit different. The variable rate, now the average in Cyprus is 4.3, 4.5. How rates are calculated? There is a Euribor from Central Europe Bank. The Euribor now is about 2.7. And also there is extra rate from the bank. So Euribor plus the rate of the bank, this is from what contains final fixed rate and the final variable rates. This might be interesting for those who are more advanced in financial industry. So we may also leverage 70% of an existing property valuation. So what do I mean? I will explain. But first I would like to emphasize that variable rate, yes, it's flexible. Nobody guarantee how often and how fast it will be changed. But the good thing that on variable rate, we could close our mortgage and cover it fully without any penalties any day. This is important to know. So many clients of our company, for example, they take mortgage for 5 years, fixed rate. And then when the 5 years old period finished, they fully cover their loan and they don't pay penalties. For those who would like and have an ability to cover their mortgage faster. Another good trick I want to tell you is that if you don't have money for the down payment, but you have property in Cyprus, instead of down payment, you could use your property. You still could live there, you could rent in this property, is not a problem, but you could use it as a down payment. And bank will consider 70% of the market price of your property as a down payment. And the rest will be provided to you, so you could obtain your property in Cyprus without investing cash. which is very important. Today I'm here to change your mortgage mindset because normally people from CIS countries, they consider mortgage as an obstacle, as a problem. But the reason why people think so is because they consider that the interest will be paid to the bank is very high. But what does it mean, high? Actually, in Cyprus, if we take mortgage for 25 years, we pay only 100% more from the mortgage body. In USA, the interest normally is from 120 to 180. In Cyprus, remember, it's 100. In Germany, it's 100, 150. In UK, it's 130 to 100. In Russia, Eastern Europe, it's about 200, 300, and even more. So Cyprus is among the lowest mortgage costs in Europe. This is very important. And the interest rate, you know that in Cyprus, now we're fighting for 3.2, 3.5. But in Russia, for example, the standard is 13%, 13, 1, 3. And in some cities of Russia, it could be 23%. In Ukraine, 18%. Yes, and still everyone takes mortgage because it's better rather than to pay high rents to somebody else. So what should I say? 100% is not a big deal, and we speak about 25 years. But if we speak about 15 years, we pay more only 45%, which is absolutely nothing. And why, I will explain to you. For example, if we speak about restaurants or fashion brands, we go to the restaurant, we buy delicious food, we really like it, we enjoy it, and then we don't care that now I paid the bill 50 euros, but the original self-cost of my food was about 10 euros. So I paid 5 times more. And it's okay, but 5 times means 500%. I buy the bag, it costs 1,000 euros, I really like it, it's from Furla, it's from Dolce Gabbana, and I don't care that the real cost of this bag is just 50 euros, for example. I paid more, hundreds of percent. But if we speak about mortgage, to pay more 45% or 100%, it looks like a problem. But in comparison with the other products, it's really cheap product. And because we keep the market price that we are buying the property today and we fix it, and the market price of the property is still growing, we are in a big advantage. Yes, this is very important to remember. So in nutshell, this is what I wanted to share with you about mortgage in Cyprus. And now I would like to explain to you about our approach, how do we work in Aston Homes. We are official mortgage brokers of Bank of Cyprus, Eurobank, and Alpha Bank. We introduce our clients directly to the bankers that we know very well for the last 8 years. And we have very tailored approach to each client, and we do our best for our clients in order to obtain best interest rate, best down payment term, and in general to provide him the most possible assistance, so he will pay less for life insurance, property insurance, because we have all the contacts that helps us to reduce the expenses for our clients as much as possible. We know all the hidden expenses and we know how to manage them. And another good thing, we have our own property platform. It's absolutely incredible. We have one of the biggest platforms in Cyprus, and we even rent this platform to some other agencies, because we fill our database every day with brand new properties. Also, we have some unique resale property, and we are ready to assist you. And we know all the requirements from the bank, so we're going to provide you only that properties that will be accepted from the bank, that will save your time and will boost your chance to have the best possible valuation. Yes, this is very important. On the other hand, I would like to explain to you. Now we will see the screen to get a free consultation. And other thing that I wanted to explain to you is that as a complementary service for those clients who are buying properties from us. We provide absolutely free of charge our mortgage broker support. We have the dedicated person, Katerina Tsigankova, who is responsible to work with clients in the banks. So she will hold you on your hand. She will bring you to the bank, and she will sit down with you to work for your best interest, to obtain the best terms from the bank. And then she will follow up the bank. She will follow up you and developer to make the process fast and as easy as possible in this situation. Also, we have our beautiful sales managers, Maria, Anastasia, Mikhail, and other Anastasia, who are responsible to finding property in Cyprus for you, and they know very well the requirements from the bank regarding the property. So they will do their best to provide you the best options. And also, we provide absolutely free of charge the legal services. As I told you that lawyers normally charge 1 or 3% from the purchase price of the property. In our company, we provide you 5 hours of free legal consultancy, which is enough to cover mostly the reservation and the sales purchase agreement. And our consultation is provided from the top professional lawyers with a great experience in the biggest development companies in Cyprus. Why we do it for free? The mortgage service and legal consultancy, because our profit is from the commission that we receive from selling the properties. Yes, that is why we provide this extra service complementary. But if you already found the property and you need only mortgage and you need us, the mortgage brokers, our fee is 3,000 euros. So we assist you to go to the bank, and we charge 3,000 only after the approval from the bank. Also, if you need our legal services, is extra, but we discuss, depends on the property price and the situation in common, because resale is more hard work. We need to go deeper to see the search certificate, to see if there are any inheritance and obligations, encumbrances on the property. With a brand new property, it's a more easy procedure, it's cheaper. So it's like that. But we extremely recommend to buy property through us, because it's absolutely amazing advantage for you to have your assistance in the bank and assistance with the legal part of the deal absolutely free of charge. We do this complimentary service, the only one in Cyprus, in such a high and professional level. We speak on 3 languages, and on Russian, English, and Greek, and and in Ukrainian also. And we are very happy to support you and assist you with all your property needs. So now is your time. Just scan our QR codes and get a free consultation with us, and we will be more than happy to consider your specific case and do our best for you. So, dear Simraj, first of all, I would like to thank the managers of the company, the HR, for the opportunity to be together with you today. Also, I would like to thank our Mikhail, the member of our team, who arranged this amazing webinar with us today. Also, I would like to thank you, because today is Friday and you're supposed to be tired, and be focused on going restaurant and to have some fun in the evening. But instead, you spend your time here with us with this really heavy, difficult financial information, because I do believe you did it to change your life, to make it better, to make it more reasonable and investor-wise better, yeah? So thank you very much for your time. Now you have our contacts. We will be happy to answer all your questions. I need to know if you have questions in the chat. If you have any questions, I believe we could spend more time to answer, but my team tells me that we don't have. So in this case, okay, just let's proceed with personal consultations, and we reply on your questions. Have a really good Friday. Have fun. Enjoy your weekends. How we say, Kalo Sabato Kiriako. Have a good weekend. And we stay in touch. Thank you, Simraj. You are the best.